Because I have plans on hosting a small team of creators versus working at a game development company post-degree, I have chosen my specialization to be lead game designer and lead game developer with duties that would also include project management processes for the team. Showing specialization in multiple facets of the overall design and development process will be key to assisting and managing a team of creators while contributing when and where I am needed for any aspect of the process. To exhibit this leadership specialization in a proof of concept, I had to take on all of the different department roles as listed in my proof of concept documents. The showcase gallery I'm about to review with you shows how I can manage to assist in every role or department as needed. My interactive virtual showcase gallery shows not only all of my work throughout the proof of concept creation, but also a slideshow created for the proof of concept details. Step into Habitus Mandatum, where a tyrannical emperor has decreed that every citizen must conform to his twisted vision of an attitude mandate or face brutal punishment. You are the spark of rebellion, a citizen turned leader of an underground resistance. Assemble your squad of misfit vigilantes, each with unique skills and haunting backstories, and strike back at the regime. Strategize daring raids, sabotage propaganda networks, and confront the Emperor's elite enforcers in explosive, high-stakes battles. Will you dismantle the dictator's reign, or will you be crushed by the weight of conformity? In Habitus Mandatum, the revolution begins with you. Freedom is an attitude away. We start off at the front of the gallery with the two large gold bust statues of the Emperor. You can see the gallery visitors roaming around looking at the exhibits. You can see the security guard approaching me. He traces me. He'll find me. He randomly tells me the different rules of the gallery. The guests will randomly tell me compliments about the gallery exhibits.
Don't touch the exhibits.
I can toggle the AI chase for all of the other AI visitors. They have a shorter range of sight than the security guard. And now they just go about their business. We'll start out at the first exhibit with the concept art, first drafts of the concept weapons, the handheld catabo and trebubo, where we'll see the spoon type mechanism with the crank and the sling type mechanism with the crank. This gallery is magnificent. Then we'll go to the 3D weapons exhibit, where we started to digitize the catabo and trebubo.
No running in the gallery. No running in the gallery.
And then the 3D weapons creation examples, the catabo and trebubo, still with the crank and spoon here, and then still with the sling mechanism for the trebubo. And then we are focusing on ranged weapons for the proof of concept. Here is a functional crossbow for a little target practice.
Look at those weapons, how creative.
This art is fantastic. And here we see the exhibit for the storyboard of the intro scene. It was first a rough sketch, and then it was cleaned up, digitized a little bit. And then we take the concept art first draft exhibit here with the imperial armor, ornate armor signifying station, with the laurel wreath, a symbol of triumph. And then we have the emperor in his courtly wardrobe with the imperial septum, a symbol of authority and station, the laurel wreath symbolizing triumph, and the purple robes with ornate pattern and jewels. Then here we see the same concept art but digitized. We see the same purple robes but a little more colorful. The callouts are cleaned up with some digitized text. And then here we see the 3D character creation. We can see the front view and side view with the lines of symmetry, as well as the gold bust statue
No running
of the
in the
emperor.
gallery.
Interesting, I love it.
And then we go to the
This is interesting.
proof of concept presentation slideshow. Habitus Mandatum by Joseph Gould. In ancient Rome, there was a concept of mandatum, or mandates over the people, that was intended to enforce a standard of attitude and friendship. The name of our production, Habitus Mandatum, is the Latin translation of attitude mandate. While the Roman concept is thought to have had taken the higher road, noble path, our game will explore the utilitarian view of mandatum, where the public is expected to befriend only those that benefit them within their social class. This project will be developed in a first-person shooter format presented with a 3D environment and characters. The backdrop of the game will be an ancient Roman city ruled by an evil tyrant, claiming that their evil acts of terror against the people is in line with the enforcement of their Habitus Mandatum. Our hero, the player, is a leader of a group of vigilantes determined to help the people overcome their overreaching leadership. The player character will be a civilian soldier intent on saving the town from the overreaching control of their tyrannical leader. The NPCs will be a mix of do-gooders and ne'er-do-wells intent on helping or hindering your plans to overthrow those in power. Feature overview. Advanced weaponry fashioned in the style of ancient Rome with a focus on unique ranged weapons. On-screen prompts for key combination to execute special kill sequences. Use of NPCs as a shield. Target rating and target market. This project will likely be rated mature for language and gore. The overall target demographic would be men and young males mostly due to the fighting styles and gore. Some additional aspects might be considered to help draw a larger female demographic. The project will be intended solely for entertainment value. As lead games designer and developer, I will take a larger portion of the coding aspects of the project while also involving myself with the art and overall game design. I will also need to perform project management duties over my small team of creators. With a small team concept, the leadership position will need to fill the role of lead designer and developer along with project manager duties. The position will work with and manage a small team of designers and developers. Skill in art and programming will be a staple in the production process for this role. Building out a project plan, roadmap, and timeline for the overall process and monitoring the team to maintain the established timeline will be a large part of the duties of this lead games designer and developer position. More specifically to the design and development work, the duties of this position will include but not be limited to creating a storyboard. For our example, proof of concept will be one option for a starting point. Using an artistic creativeness to realize a sketched up sample scene to establish the visual and activities being portrayed, artistic development programming skills. The programming experience and aptitude required for the position will be greater than the art requirements. Writing new code and interpreting and harnessing existing libraries will be essential for the success in this role. Gap analysis, communication. Current skill level. My current rating's around a 2 to 3. Though I must work hard at being more social, I am well established and capable of communication in a professional atmosphere. Current skill level, gaps. I will need to work on establishing relationships with my team on a meaningful level. I have issues talking to people on a personal level. There are few to no examples of me talking to people first, if not for a business purpose. Goals. Short term for the proof of concept. Being a team of one for this proof of concept, it will be more difficult to incorporate other communication skills. I will plan to use game community forums to ask questions and elicit interactions that will be limited in a one-person team. This will also help my long-term goals for communication. My long-term professional development plan. Planning to manage a small team of designers and developers if required later. I will have to learn to make more personal relationships with my colleagues. I am human, I think, so I will have to start pushing myself more to establish more meaningful relationships if I am to make this work. Gap analysis, creativity. Developing innovative ideas, imagery, and concepts. My current skill level. I currently rate myself around a 2 or 3. While I'm good at drawing and CGI creation, I've gotten rusty in my creative conceptualization. My current skill level, my gaps. When I think of an idea, it seems to deform many times over between brain and paper. Holding on to a good thought has proved more difficult for me of recent. My goals for the short term are this proof of concept. I think buckling down and setting my mind to achieving a concept and following through with its evolution will help me get through the creative necessities for this project. I have already stretched my wings with the proof of concept proposal with the idea of using and manipulating the ancient Roman concepts of mandatum. This practice will prove to be elemental for my future goals as a developer. My long-term professional development plan. I really think that practice is key here too. I have been in a rut with data conversions and other monotonous programming at my job. There has been little room for creative endeavors. Once I am out of school, I plan to use some of that extra time to work on all facets of my game development. Gap analysis, programming. My current skill level. I rate myself between a 3 and 4. I have a high level comprehension of coding and many programming languages. My current skill level. My gaps. There are some mathematical concepts with matrix translation that are difficult for me, though that is where Google and other open game forums can come in. Eigenwatt. My goal for the short term or proof of concept. I will not be using matrix math that is not core to the game engine or in a simple YouTube tutorial for a specific need if one arises. There is no hope for my matrix translation comprehension issues in the short term. Laugh out loud. This project will help me gain experience in coding in a wider view than just my matrix math gap. My goal for the long-term professional development plan. I always continue to study and learn more about programming. It is useful in my current career and will be very useful in my game development project. I am unsure of my future comprehension of matrix math, though I might have to give it another shot. Gap analysis, level design and conceptualization. Current skill level. I rate myself between a 1 and 2. I have only been creating levels for a few years, slightly before starting my courses here. My current skill level, the gaps. While I have technical experience in different game engines, the level design I have done is mainly simple template stuff or very little landscape sculpting or a simple procedurally generated plane. Specifically, the procedural plane was only last term for me. My goal for the short term or proof of concept. For this proof of concept, I have proposed a sample level that I had planned as more of a showcase to display different assets and functions without a lot of distractions. This will make the level design take a backseat to the asset creation design. Building showcase concept levels will improve my overall attention to detail when creating a clean and crisp environment for displaying sample game elements. My long-term professional development plan. I also plan to continue developing more and more complex and intricate level designs to enhance my skill set. While I will probably lean heavily on others for basic level design, I want to be capable of assisting down to the minute details as needed. As an example, I will put myself in a position to replace placeholder elements with coded blueprint elements while leaving the conceptualization of the environment to the rest of the team. Gap analysis, concept art, producing designs and assets. My current skill level. I rate myself at a 1 to 2. Once the creative idea is established, I'm pretty good with putting it to paper or vector. At least I thought I was at a time in the past. I am currently proving myself different. I would have previously rated myself at a solid 3. Without having practice, I have gotten shaky in my artistic ability. My current skill level, the gaps. When I have an idea and take the time to do so, I can make great art. I have not been in practice in many years, so I think I will need to brush up on things like human anatomic structure and historically accurate character design. I tried to sketch up a character the other day, and it was embarrassing, and I was alone. My goal for the short term, proof of concept. I had nixed the concept art from the elements I am planning for my proof of concept, though I have done more sketching and added it back to the planned proof of concept. More sketching will help my future ability to at least convey a concept, even if I do not do final rendering art. My long-term goal for professional development plan. Once again, practice, practice, practice. If I have any hope of contributing to this area ever again, it will be after a good deal of practice. I am uncertain how much of this I will need to do, and how much of the art concept development and design that will be hired out. Gap analysis, game community interaction. Communication. With a recent contribution I have made in the UE questions chat in the GAM and GRA Discord channel, I have had to re-edit my responses to some people's questions to better explain in more detail what I was trying to convey to help them with their issues. Detail is key for conveying issue descriptions and for relaying fixes. Creativity. In Game 305, I created a new Discord channel and chats list. From within this team forum, we worked on creative development of our game as a team. The group conceptualization of elements and assets throughout the game development was essential to our final project. Programming. In Game 305, I worked with only one other team member that wanted to code. They helped to build a simple AI spawning system that I was able to expand upon that proved to be one of the most cooperative efforts of the entire project. The forum discussion, verbal and text-based communication also proved to be an essential tool for our cooperative efforts. Level design. The level design fell to me and another team member in Game 305. They were able to make some very believable human body parts like a nose, stomach, and liver that we were able to place our character inside of. I took the body parts and put them all together and added the assets to the inside of the parts to make the game and keep the feel of the being inside of a body. The communication channels via Discord were our main form of discussion. Concept art. The level designer in Game 305 made a cool mock SketchUp of our level designs, body parts, with obstacles and anatomically specific elements for each part of the body. Discord was perfect for our conceptual conversations. Having a graphics card that did not meet the minimum requirements of Unreal Engine 5, I was having a serious issue with VRAM exhaustion in the development process. I researched and found that disabling the new Lumen lighting and reflections feature greatly improved my experience. Then I reached out to the game community and got the same response that I got from the professor. They said that using Lumen in combination with Nanite might improve the overall performance of the product. I will have to work with Nanite more to see how it helps. I updated my graphics card now, so it should not be as much of an issue, but optimization is always a factor for thought. Concept art evolution examples. I started out with rough paper sketches, scanned them, and started updating them to a digital 2D render, cleaning up some of the smaller details. The first image is of the Emperor in a set of armor with purple cloak that was not earned on the battlefield, but inherited from his father. The second image is of the Emperor in his courtly wardrobe with purple robes and red tunic with ornate patterns and jewels. The third image is a translation between the two outfits on the Emperor. The laurel wreath was a symbol of triumph, though the Emperor has never attended battle in victory. Concept art evolution examples. Prep for 3D character creation. Forward view and profile view creation. 3D character creation. Gold bust statue of the Emperor. Concept art. Weaponry. Catapult bow and trebuchet bow. Functional weaponry. Having a focus on ranged weapons. Storyboard to the intro scene.